Feliz miércoles. Soy Charles Kuck. Hey, everybody. How you doing? Charles Kuck, managing partner here at Kuck, Baxter Immigration. It's great to be with you today. Hoy día es un día especial. Hoy día es el bicentenario del Perú. Feliz aniversario bicentenario, Día de Independencia a mi amado Perú, a todos mis amigos que viven ahí. Ojalá que están celebrando este bicentenario. Y ojalá su nuevo presidente no es su último. Qué gozo de estar con ustedes hoy día. Voy a hacerlo en inglés o español. Y lo siento por ser un poco tarde. Tuve problemas con la cámara hoy día. No sé qué estaba pasando, pero estoy en vivo ya. Y ya estamos en Facebook, YouTube, y LinkedIn. So, welcome everybody. Today is the Peruvian Independence Day. It is their bicentennial. 200 years as a country. They're also inaugurating their first communist president. So we'll hope it's not their last as a country. But it's great to be with you. We'll be answering questions today in English and Spanish and kind of giving you an update on where things stand. But last night we had a big litigation filing. Last night we filed our preliminary injunction on the H-1B lottery case that we have. Trying to stop the USCIS from using the H-1B lottery as part this year because it's ripe with fraud. I mean, it's all kinds of fraud in the case. Posted on my Facebook page. You can take a look at it there. You can also look at my Twitter handle and get the information there. Anoche pusimos un caso muy importante en el Corte Federal en Washington, D.C. en cuanto a la visa H-1B, en cuanto a un sorteo que ya tendrán prontito por visas que son dejado de lado por el resto del año y porque el sorteo está lleno de fraude y abuso y queremos pararlo. Vamos a ver lo que pasa. We do have a hearing date set on, that's called the Liu case, L-I-U, the Liu case. The Liu case has a hearing on August 27th, a Friday at 3 o'clock. So it's clearly going to be a short hearing if he's got us on a Friday at 3 o'clock in Washington, D.C. in August. Yeah, that's going to be not a great time, but he had to squeeze this in, so he squeezes this in. That's kind of the way it is. Now, of course, if the government publishes rules on issues of secondary lottery, we will ask for an immediate hearing. So we might have a hearing sooner than that. Además de esto, lo que está pasando en el Congreso no hace nada. Obviamente ayer hoy día anunció Biden que van a empezar las remociones expedidos en la frontera, pero con un twist, con un cambio que tendrán una audiencia primero si tienen un clamo de asilo. Será rápido. No sé si es que es rápido. No es rápido en inmigración. Nada es rápido en inmigración. En cuanto a el sorteo, la visa de diversidad 2021, no tenemos ninguna otras noticias. Ya pusimos nuestro update el viernes pasado con el juez en cuanto a los plaintiffs. Y además, ahorita estamos trabajando con el gobierno para poner el récord para el corte. Tendremos esto listo para el viernes. Y también voy a responder a un comentario en el caso de Rosales que dijo que yo dije algo en un caso o otro que no es consistente. Eso es una mentira. Y vamos a hablar de esto. A little update on the diversity lottery. This is the GO case for DB 2021. Here's your update. There is no update. The judge obviously hasn't ruled. We sent in our standing memo to the judge last week. We're working with government counsel today to do what's called the record, the administrative record. We'll have that done and submitted probably by tomorrow or Friday at the latest. The government has a brief due on Friday, because Friday's the 20th, Friday the 28th as well on standing. They'll oppose us. That's what they're going to do. But I've spoken to, not to the council we're working with, but a different council that works for the government. I think they're pretty confident we're going to win this case. So I don't know about the class action. I haven't read the Rosales case other than be told that they said that I said something I didn't say. So we'll respond to that appropriately at the appropriate time if it becomes necessary. Let's see. I don't think I really have anything else. Let's go ahead and get into questions today. We might be quick. We don't have a lot of questions, so that's good. Liz, I have DACA. I want to apply for advanced parole. You should. You have 2 entries out of inspection, 95 and 2002 as a minor. I don't need can Res Pro be used again legal and remove the no. You can't ever remove illegal entries, Liz. The bigger question, Liz, is when did you leave after you entered in 95? If you left before April of 97, then you really only have one illegal entry, because entries prior to September 1996 aren't counted in the way if you left before April 1996 and 1997. So it depends on when you left. But if you left like in 2001 and came back in 2002, you have a permanent bar. I mean, it sucks, but you have a permanent bar. So an advanced parole is not going to help you get a green card, unfortunately, because you have the permanent bar. So even if you get advanced parole, you travel, you come back in, you're still going to have the same problem that you currently have. You can still get advanced parole. You don't have any problem coming back in, but it's just that to get a green card, you're going to have a permanent bar. That's from Liz. It's a great question. I should have put it up. I'm sorry, Liz. I didn't mean to not put that up. A little discombobulated all day. Lots of stuff going on today. Jose Luis, hermosa. Gracias, hermano. Mucho gusto en verle. Okay. Peru, para vida. Osama Saeed, what is there any chance to agree with the government? Osama, they know we're going to win. But it's not the government lawyers that control this case. It's their client. And as I've said many times, the Department of State, they are not going to cooperate. They're not going to settle. They're not going to do anything. They think they are God. They do. GD. They think they're God. That they control, that they have ultimate power, that whatever they say and do is good enough. And they don't do it, then you don't get it. That's the State Department's mantra. It's been their mantra for a very long time. And as we begin to quash that mantra and stamp into it and turn it into dust, that's ultimately our goal, then they're going to fight back. So no, there's not going to be any settlement, Osama. I appreciate that, though. Now, once they have an order ordering them to do something, then we'll work on making sure our clients get interviewed. Okay? Coco, arriba Perú. Gracias, Coco. Gusto en verte. Ojalá que están celebrando hoy día. Osama's got another question. You don't call me a hero. I'm just a lawyer doing what lawyers are supposed to do, fight for justice. I know you don't want to involve the government to do their job, but just as judge order, select the reason judge order without being. I can't even understand this, Osama. That's way too many questions in one question. Some plaintiffs get interviewed after the order without being accused or reviewed in embassy. Yes, because they were under an order to issue as many cases as they could. Remember, all the KCC does is look at your documents. It's not an adjudicative status. They're just collecting the documents. They can collect those at the embassy. Now, it's easier if the KCC does it for the consulates, but the consulates don't need them to do it. It's not required. It's not the law. It's not the NBC. You fill out the form, you can go right to the embassy. Embassies do this all the time for visas, right? They look at documents right away. So DQ doesn't matter, okay? What it matters is, what the DQ does is keep the consulate constantly supplied. The idea is they will max out the use of the visas every single year, and the easiest way to do that is to have somebody else look at the documents so they can just churn them through. And they just abandoned that idea this year, okay? Follow your instructions. Send all documents required every few days. 45 days. They receive these. You keep doing it. You keep following up, Osama. That's what you're going to do. Be the squeaky wheel. Rahel Bernardo, last Monday, someone asked you to confirm DQs for plaintiffs. Why not you ask KCC on behalf of plaintiffs? Rahel, I don't know who you are or what you're talking about, but we are not representing each of the plaintiffs in front of the KCC. And in my oral argument, I in fact said that we want the Department of State to ensure that all plaintiffs are documentarily qualified and interviewed. That's what the oral argument said, and that's the way it is. If you want to hire us to represent you before the KCC, you call, make an appointment like everybody else, and you can hire us to do that. Frankly, I think it makes no difference whatsoever. And if somebody tells you that it does, they're lying to you. Let's see. Ainhoa Muñoz. Hola, abogado. ¿Cuánto tiempo debo esperar para la de DACA? Metí la aplicación en el 29 por primera vez y ya fui no vas a recibirlo. Lo siento. El juez paró el programa la semana pasada por casos nuevos. Por los que tienen DACA, van a renovarlo. Van a darle sus permisos de viajar. Pero los con nueva DACA Inmigración va a quedar con el caso. No van a devolver el dinero, pero tampoco van a negarlo. Van a quedarse con el expediente hasta que algo cambie. Lo siento, no. Eso es es terrible lo que pasó, en mi opinión. Es terrible. Tenemos María, abogado. Hace casi 4 meses apliqué por TPS. No me digas nada, ni siquiera el permiso de trabajo. No es normal, pero es normal. Mejor dicho, no es normal, pero es típico del gobierno. Una agencia es increíblemente mal gerenciado. Simplemente no están haciendo el trabajo por lo cual están pagándoles. Y si toma 6 meses, debemos pedirles, llevarles a la corte también. You're welcome, my friend. Hola, señor. ¿Cuándo crees que vamos a tener una respuesta en caso de Gómez? Antes de los medios de agosto. Tetsokis, Montoya. Anything on TBS front doors? Our driver's license expires October 4th. No, look, remember, they are so far behind the 8 ball. They are so far delayed. Don't expect anything until September. And what they'll do is they'll publish a notice that says you can apply, and they'll automatically extend your case. That's what you're going to do. All right. Companies can't force you to give that to them until the day. They can ask for it 6 months beforehand, but they can't force you to get it until the day expires. So you'll be fine. And you'll be able to get an extension of the driver's license. That's what happened previously for Salvadorans. So go. No attempt from going to make a deal. No, John Smith. Do you know Pocahontas? Do you know who Pocahontas is? A little bit of Indian non-lore and urban legend mixed there. No, the government's not going to make a deal. Hello, Liz Tammy from Switzerland. I hope all is well there. Liz Avila, you left in 02. Yeah, Liz, I'm so sorry. You have the permanent bar, even though we are a minor. I mean, the law sucks. What this does. Eduardo Rodríguez, abogado. ¿Qué causa puede ser para un Dreamer pedir Advance Pro? ¿Puede ser por vacaciones o su país? No. Tiene que ser un viaje de escuela, un viaje de trabajo, un negocio, o un pariente, una emergencia de familia. Su tío favorito está grave de salud, o hay un velorio por su abuelo, por su muerte hace 3 años. Algo así sería difícil. Son muy amables ahorita bajo Biden aprobándolos, pero no debe decir yo quiero tomar vacaciones. Eso no es suficiente. Estamos esperando alguna respuesta. Tú y yo. Any news DACA recipients? No, Tanya. If you have DACA, you're fine. You're just going to keep doing DACA, and there's no DREAM Act passing anytime soon. There is an idea that it will be in the budget bill, but I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. John Smith, the residential visa ordered can it be used for us? No, it will not. Because remember, the Immigration Service is not part of this lawsuit. So, no, I do not believe it can be used for adjustment of status, only for consular processing. Now, some people you could argue with me about that, and I might change my mind on that. But I think, unfortunately, you're stuck with the consular process. Liz Tammy, my documents February 21 is still not documented. Not surprising. When we submitted our plaintiffs list, we had people that filed their documents in July of 2020, May of 2020, who did not get DQ'd. So again, the consulate doesn't need you to be DQ'd. They can do the DQing at the consulate. They did last year. They can fully do that. And we're going to see, once we have an order, we're going to see how the government wants to work this. Isabel Pérez, una persona que tenga DACA puede pedir un permiso de salir. Sí. Aunque tenga orden de deportación, absolutamente. Y cuando regrese, podemos tratar de reabrir su orden de deportación. Es chévere. Is just simple as saying, asking about plaintiffs' DQs. Simple for whom? You? Sure, you can do it. Go ahead and do it. Claire Salazar, hola, mi mamá recién obtuvo su residencia, puede ser opción, soy mayor de 21 años, soltero y deseador. Puede pedir una decisión, puede hacer una decisión, soy mayor. Oh, ok, su mamá le va a pedir a usted. Sí, ella le va a pedir, es una línea de como 6 años, 5 años, 7 años, algo así. Y tendrás que ser del país, tendrás que hacer un perdón si no cambia la ley. Malek, hello, best attorney, what do you do for us? Go plaintiffs. We already talked about that. Let's see, Henry Clemente, you were right about the EU travel ban. Did I tell you guys? There's no way Biden is going to lift it. It just wasn't. Yeah, there's no litigation, Henry, unfortunately, is not an option here. It's a mandatory loser because of the Trump versus Hawaii case. On the issue of visa issuance, they keep losing that. But as for the travel ban itself, no, that's because of Trump versus Hawaii. No, unchallengeable. Thank you, Osama. By the way, if you're in DV 2022, if you're listening to me and you're a DV 2022 winner, do your DS 260 and do your cases now. I mean, you need to get your documents in now to the KCC, because it's going to be a wild ride when they have to do 100,000 visas in 1 year. By the way, they're suggesting that they'll cancel DV 2023. Not only is quite illegal, but it's not going to happen. Should have no issues coming back. You'll have no issues coming back. I promise you. Yeah. You're fine. You'll have no issues coming back. Neda, I just talked about DV 2022. Saludos desde Cuba. Tendremos algún alivio del juez. Ojalá. Mira, mencioné Cuba en mi argumento sobre Gómez y Acker, que ellos necesitan algo por Cuba. Okay? Como Rusia, en Moscú, en Teherán, y Bagdad, y muchos otros países que están cerrados. Okay, Maria Liz, could you ask the embassy in Bern if they could give me an interview in case he didn't send my document? Yes, of course. You can remind them that last year in the lottery, after the order that many embassies process without the KCC getting the documents. They process based on the DS-260 and people demanding appointments and setting appointments. Ask them if they're going to do that, if they're willing to do that now. They don't have to wait for the KCC. They may tell you they do, but they don't. Abogado, ¿qué es más fácil, pedir visa de trabajo o de turista? Well, visas de trabajo son duros y requiere un sponsor aquí en los Estados Unidos. Un turista requiere dinero en el banco para comprobar que va a regresar a su país. Entonces, depende. La respuesta es que depende. John Smith, any exception for children admitted to B2 detention school? No, it's illegal for parents, kids on B2 to attend school. It's in the context of it's a violation of their visitor visa. It's not legal. It's not illegal as far as the law is concerned in the United States. Every school district under a Supreme Court case called Plyler versus Doe has to enroll every student who applies who lives in their district. But it is a violation of their B2 status, and they would take your B1 visa away if they found out your kids were going to school here. Yeah, see, Ahmad, this is what they did. That's why whenever you communicate on your DVs, you have both the KCC and the consulate on the same email together. They're in the same CC line, okay? Tengo orden de separación de ausencia de los perquitos, se puede arreglar sin que me den un castigo en mi país. Ahora mi pareja no, tendrás que reabrir su caso, Sandra. Si no reabres su caso, tendrás que vivir afuera del país por 5 años antes de pedir un perdón. Es el castigo por no aparecer. Pero llámanos y tal vez podemos ayudarte en cuanto a... por consulta. Tal vez podemos ayudarte en cuanto a esto. Pratik from Nepal. I heard Nepal, they're finally interviewing people. Yay for DV. I agree, Hassan. They will have to take action soon. Ahmed, more than 7 months because they didn't process DCC. Yeah, I know they did. Any advice? Keep emailing them over and over and over again. That's the only advice, since they don't take phone calls anymore. Is the delay in sentencing? You mean they're not sentencing? Gomez is not going to jail, okay? The delay in a decision normal because he reserved the visas. So judges take a long time to make decisions. They've got lots of other important stuff going on at the same time, unfortunately. I got multiple entries. Do they stamp the same paper more than once? Yes, they'll keep stamping the same paper on your passport if you enter on the advanced parole. José Monter, tengo mucho tiempo esperando la residencia de mi esposa. Tú ustedes tienen mi caso y no me han dicho nada. Ella está en México, ¿cuánto tiempo más dura? José, no sé si sabes, pero había una pandemia y el consulado ha sido cerrado. Y Trump era presidente y demoró los perdones por más de 2 años. Y los consulados están 2 años atrasados. Pero José, si me llames, yo puedo decirte exactamente lo que está pasando para que tengas toda la información correcta sobre su caso para que no tienes que hacer preguntas como esta. Llámame. Y tú sabes llamarme porque el número está allí. Ahí sí nomás. Okay. Dimitri, Elmas Crook, no one is 2NL in July in Georgia. Of course, no, it's not normal. Of course, it's not normal, Dimitri. But hopefully we'll be fixing that shortly. That's what we're waiting on the judge. Cuando el juez meta tal orden para DB 2020, ¿qué usted cree que pase con lo que están en administrative processing? Creo que tendrán que reactivarlos y ojalá procesarlos antes de que expire el número de visas que ha reservado. Hello, Mr. I'm a co-plaintiff with a low visa number from Iran, which I'll be ready for interview, as I know. My interview location is Ankara is not interviewing anybody who's not Turkish. I know. We saw it today. So we will be having, again, I brought that up in my oral argument. The government knows it's an issue. And when the judge issues his order, they'll tell us what they're going to do about that. Okay? Because every country deserves their fair shot. No country should get more than 7% of the DVs, right? That's the percentage. Every country gets up to 7% of the DVs. I mean, that's the goal. I got multiple entries. They step. You already asked that question. Scott Taylor, you jumped, man. Where did Scott go, man? Ooh, sorry. Hold on. I got Omar here. Omar, where did you go? There you go, Scott. Is the Australian COVID lockdown potentially going to affect my PS visa process for reaching the consulate? If the consulate's closed, yes, because they won't go to work. They literally won't go to work. Now, KCC could still send stuff over, or the NDC will still send stuff over, but how long are they going to be closed for? I mean, if there is a lockdown in Australia, the consulate will be closed for however long that lockdown is, which means that's how long the delay will be. It's outrageous. I mean, why can't they do it by video? They can do this by video. They could easily, but they don't. Do I expect the judge to issue an order of reservation of? Yes, I do. I think he will. I think he's going to reserve almost all of them. That's what I asked him to reserve every unused visa, because it's not fair otherwise. They intentionally used COVID not to issue visas. We know that. And Charles, do you think documentarily qualified DV are going to be interviewed? I think there's an excellent chance. Yes, because you're documentarily qualified. But you getting the interview, don't be waiting for them to call you. Once there's an order, you're on the horn. You're calling. You're emailing. You want an appointment. You got to be the guy screaming bloody murder, just like we told our clients last year, all of whom got interviews. Boom, just like that. Buenas tardes. En cuestión de trámites de ciudadanía, ¿hizo algo aumento de los no, es el mismo gasto. ¿Puedes pedir advance pro para visitar a tus grandparents en el uno murió? Ya está, eso está bien, absolutamente perfecto para hacer. Ponga los actas de defunción en la pedida por advance pro, Nadia, y te lo van a dar. Okay? Enrique, TPP para peruanos. Enrique, no van a tener TPS por peruanos simplemente por tener un comunista como presidente. A lo mínimo no tienen control del Congreso. Y el poder del presidente de Perú no es sin límites. Y como ejerció el año pasado el Congreso su poder de votar Vizcarra, tal vez el nuevo presidente no es capaz mentalmente. Vamos a ver lo que dice el Congreso. Andrés Sánchez, si mi empleador me pide a Estados Unidos, no necesito dinero en el banco. Well, ellos sí, no necesito, porque si un empleador te pide por la visa de trabajo, la H1B, no importa qué dinero que usted tiene en el banco, porque vas a ser pagado aquí. Nadia Reyes, ¿puede pedir permiso para visitar? Yes. Oh, yeah, you already asked this question, Nadia. Lo contesté. Go. Excuse me, a bit confused in the essence of litigation. Can I include expedite plaintiff's DQs? Yes, Rahel, that's exactly right. Go back and read the agreement that you signed. Our job is to get these visas issued and reserved, but the individual qualification is entirely up to you. Absolutely. Sandy, do you think document? Oh, I think you asked this already. Yes, I do. For the most part, not everybody, but most part. If we update our declaration for KCC, we don't need an updated declaration. Don't worry about it. Let's see. I agree. And we actually have a wonderful Arabic speaker attorney. And maybe I'll invite him next week with me and we can do an episode in English and Arabic. How's that sound? That's Walid Nasser, one of our attorneys. We actually have 2 attorneys. Hiba Galib also speaks Arabic. And we're going to get him online. We'll do that. Buenas tardes, abogado. Yo apliqué para Advance Parole hace 11 meses. Todavía tenía DACA. 20 ahora ya se me venció. No he aprobado. Well, ojalá está pendiente su extensión de DACA, Mayra. Y van a aprobar su Advance Parole y su DACA conjunto. Benny, I was waiting to read my comment. You directly ignore it. Benny, this is the first time I've ever seen your name here. In fact, you know what we're going to do right now? We're going to look for Benny and see where we can find Benny in here. I don't see Benny in here at all other than this. I ignored your comment. Anybody else feel like I ignored their comment? Everybody raise their hand. Nobody raised their hand, Benny. Maybe you didn't send it properly. Judd, before we get E2, can we get kids K-12 then? You can't. That's the problem. You can't enroll your kids in school until you enter on the E2. That's the grand problem with the E2. Para conseguir una visa para mi hijo, fue deportado ya cumplir 10 años fuera de ser, yo soy residente. Bueno, ¿aplicaste por su hijo? Tienes que aplicar por su hijo para traerlo como hijo de residente, pero si él es soltero, la línea es como 6 años. Si él es casado, no puedes aplicar por él como residente. Entonces, depende en su caso. Llame por una cita. Ahmed, what will happen if most of the embassy issued visas and total issues become similar to the B-23 judge? Yes, he's going to issue visas. I think he's going to reserve a big number. Absolutely. Grizia Lopez, this is a good time to start. Yes, this is a great time to start your citizenship process. It's a great time. This is the way you get the vote next year. Hey, you're welcome. Thank you very much. Elsa Tejada, hola, buenas tardes. Una pregunta, ¿sabe poder renovar el TPS de las horas? No sabemos todavía. Estamos esperando con anticipación por la administración de Biden de hacer su trabajo. Okay, Benny, you're welcome. Benny's back. I said thank you. They love the Spanish. Gracias, de. Nadie, abogados son bisabuelos. Oh, eso está bien. No se preocupe, eso está bien. Son sus bisabuelos más favoritos. Está bien. Can they reserve DV-21? No, Benny. We asked the judge to reserve the visas for 24 months because we want them to have time to issue visas for 2022, 2023, and 2021 and 2020 over the next 2 years. It's going to be busy, but they can do it. They can absolutely do it. Desde Colombia hacia Colombia, feliz día, hermano. Okay. Let's see. Jerónimo Malaga, tengo un hijo. Quiero aplicar para un permiso de residencia a mi esposo, pero él tiene registrado en huellas de inmigración. Oye, entonces, si solamente entraron al país una vez exitosamente, su hijo le puede pedir. Jerónimo, lo que debes hacer es llamar ahorita para una cita para que podamos charlar conmigo o uno de mis socios aquí para ayudarte a cumplir el proceso de residencia por medio de su hijo. Paloma, mi Paloma. Abogado, buenas tardes. Quisiéramos que nos ayude en la petición que quiere hacer mi papá para mis hermanos. Y quisiera saber si me pueden sacar una visa para que vengan a visitar a mi papá hasta la visa. Bueno, Paloma, la respuesta es depende. Sacando visas de visita son difíciles y lo que debes es llamar por una cita para que podamos charlar de esto. Okay. Shabnan, I was wondering, the judge orders to save the visas will be like Gomez, we're waiting and waiting. No, because why is that, Shabnan? Because we're the lawsuit that is final. So they will have to immediately start issuing it or get a stay from the appeals court. So for our clients, they have to issue them. For the other cases, they don't have a final case. Ours is final. Charles, should I contact the embassy or the KCC? You contact them both in the same email. Same email. Hey, KCC, you said I was documentary qualified. Consulate, KCC said I was documentary qualified. Please ask for the visa. KCC, please send the visa. Put that all in the same email. Okay, that'll be good. That'll be good. Go, don't I have a status conference? No. Para la visa los cambios que el presidente anunció, ¿cuándo serán los cambios? Es Josefina, yo he hablado de eso hoy día más antes en otro charla con Mariela Romero en Univisión. Pero lo que dije ahí es, no sabemos. O sea, Hay 175,000 casos que tienen que mirar. Y no han aumentado el número de empleados y todavía tienen que adjudicar casos. ¿Cuánto tiempo piensas tú que lo van a hacer? Una cosa que han anunciado es han suspendido dar la fecha de consideración hasta enero, mientras que toman los próximos 5 meses para determinar los bona fides para dar permiso de trabajo. Entonces, antes de enero, ojalá. If visas are reserved, how long will it take for interviewing the plaintiffs? Well, go is final. So our plaintiffs should be issued right away because we don't have a preliminary injunction. We've got a final order to issue them for our clients. That's what our fight is. That's why our case is kind of the most important. It's final. Hello, good day, Ms. Cook. Real quick, can TPS ask Advance Pro with a deportation order? Yes. I don't know what I was thinking. I just couldn't read that. Yes, of course you can. No problem at all. Many clients have done it. No problem. Yo tengo 4 años esperando el visum. Yeah. Porque antes del anuncio de Obama, de Biden, ¿quién es el presidente? No me acuerdo. No es Trump. Estaban adjudicando casos hace 5 años. Entonces te faltas 1 año. Gold plaintiffs, we worry about DQ because 97. Yeah, okay. Raymond, we get it. We get the issue. If you listen to oral argument, you know that I brought that up. You should say thank you for bringing that up, Mr. Cook. It was very nice of you to do that for me. Liz time, let's go to the embassy in Bern. Ask for an interview. They told me they only accept people with residency or work in Switzerland. Switzerland. It's Liz. You know, you should come here when you get a green card, become a citizen, and then go work for the State Department so you can fix the problem. You're going to get the visa. I'm fully confident of that, Liz. Fully confident of that. Can you use advanced parole under DACA to adjust? Yes. If you only have 1 entry. Yes. Muchas gracias, abogado. Feliz fiestas patrias del Perú. Qué chévere. Ojalá hay celebraciones o hay velorios, no sé, dependiendo de su partido político. Hey, Cook, I have an asylum case pending in court. Should I let my judge know about I-130 approval? Yes. You should have a lawyer do that. Jesus, there's a process to go through to allow your case to be canceled so you can use the I-130 to get a green card if it's current or you're married to a citizen. But you need a lawyer. Get a lawyer to do that. The best thing to do is call us. We're here. Happy to meet with you. Okay? All right. Abogado es un personal. Can we call you Señor Justicia? That's very funny, John Smith. I wrote back to Liz Smith. That's hilarious. I'm sorry. It's really funny, Liz. I mean, it's funny because it's like a Shakespearean freaking tragedy funny. Of course, they're doing everything they can to make your life difficult. It's like, hey, you can't work here at the State Department unless you know how to make people's lives difficult. Ya hablé de TPS, Ronald. Vaya atrás como 5 minutos. Can judge reserve visa class action? Yes. Absolutely. If you were listening, you heard the judge say that he could do that. And there you go. And we asked for it. That's what we did. Tomás López, abogado, ¿es cierto que se puede cerrar un caso de cancelación por demisivamente sin perder? Sí, ya se puede. Si somos tus abogados, llámanos y lo hacemos. Christian Guzmán, buenas tardes. Tengo el permiso de visa. Mi pregunta es si puede aplicar un permiso para salir del país. No, lo siento. Si tienes la visa puedes salir y pedir una visa en su pasaporte y regresar, pero yo no haría tal cosa si no es una emergencia. I'm writing the questions of the majority. Can the judge delay till the end of August? What majority are you talking about? Is there a secret tribunal that I'm not aware of? Was there a vote and I'm in the minority? Ya me pido el apartamento de visa, el affidavit después de eso que sigue, el CAO es para petición de esposo. Ya, después del affidavit support, ya van a fijarte una cita. Una pregunta, yo tengo un hijo nacido aquí, pero entré sin visa, entonces, ¿qué se puede arreglar? Solamente si usted es beneficiario de la ley 245 o su hijo está en el ejército. Si no, usted tendría que salir del país por 10 años para aprovechar de la aplicación de su hijo. Become a fighting lawyer. We need more fighting lawyers. We have too many lazy lawyers here. Oriel, tomorrow I have my oath ceremony. Woo! Dad's never been there to see my sister and has to get the pastor visa. Well, you can't get an I-90 for your dad. All right, you have to apply for a green card for your dad. That's an I-130 in an interview, and that's going to take like 3 years. So the fastest way would be to ask your dad to get a visitor visa. That would be the fastest thing to do. They'll probably give it to him if he's older. Remy, hi. Hey, my wife has not become a citizen. Should I apply with her or wait till she gets her citizenship? We are married. I don't have DACA. Well, there is no DACA if you've never applied. New DACAs are not available right now. So your wife should apply now, and then it will automatically change to us. And it's the same waiting line if she's a resident or citizen. So I would apply now. Síguenos en Twitter, dice mi asistente. No sé si soy el mejor abogado del mundo, pero soy el más feliz hoy día. Hey, suscríbete a nuestro canal de YouTube. Síguenos en YouTube, en Twitter. Ahí estamos. Charbel, you're welcome. You're welcome. I love answering your questions. ¿Qué noticias sobre DACA? Ya hablé de esto más antes en detalle. If the class is certified, this means the reservation will be for class members. It will cover an adjustment. No, it doesn't mean that. Because again, we have a final decision pending. So if you're a go plaintiff, all you should care about is the judge reserves visas for you. That's what you should care about. Now, if he reserves visas for everybody, which is what we're asking for, because he can do that, that's a great benefit to you. But if he does it for you, that's all you care about. Forget the class. It's irrelevant to you. And going, the judge specifically asked you, he could order as he could go there, but else what you want. He didn't ask, how do you interpret that? I don't know. Maybe he likes me more. Maybe he knows I'm going to tell him the truth. I don't know. It's a good question. I noticed that too, by the way, Volkan. You must have studied that transcript. That must have been boring. What will happen to the administrative processing for DV 2020? Well, they should resume it. I mean, as soon as that order comes out, you should be calling the consulate to get that done. Mr. Kuck, how many visas? I don't know. At least 9,095. I asked them to get more. Se está tardando el departamento de visas para dar las visas en citas. Ya, porque los consulados fueron cerrados por un año. Entonces son un año atrasados. What reason can the judge make to come with a quick judgment? I don't understand that question. Do you think for us, since Ankara is not planning to process our case, we could email and let them know? You know, Shabnan, I would wait and see what the government will tell us to do for Iranians. Okay? Con hijo militar, Carmen, si tienes hijo militar, puedes arreglar si entraste una vez al país undocumentado. All right, that's all the questions for today. We've had lots of viewers. We appreciate you come in. Besabe is here. Besabe. She's getting married in about a week or so. Congratulations, and I will kind of be there. Besabe, good to see you, sweetheart. Congratulations to you. Y'all have a wonderful week. Again, if you want to make an appointment, what you do is you call this number, give me a ringy-dingy, say I want to speak to Mr. Kuck, or any of my 12 partners. They can all talk to you. They're all well-trained. They all work for me. We all work on cases together. So anybody you talk to, it's just like talking to me, except I'm better looking. Si quieren hacer la cita, llame. Es lo que tiene que hacer. Llame 2 veces. Y fijan una cita conmigo, uno de mis socios excelentemente entrenado por mí. Hasta la semana pasada. This is Charles Kuck. We'll see you la próxima semana aquí el miércoles y también el lunes en la noche a las 7. Bye bye.